Don't tell me that you two are one of those people who like to make pancakes with the whites of the eggs and oat flour. Today I'm going to show you an alternative recipe which can be done with just white flour, yes, and water. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Live Healthy, Look Good. Today, as I said before the intro, I'm going to show you my own recipe. I do pancakes for just one reason. I have nothing against eggs. Of course, you may see what I think about eggs and cholesterol by just watching the video up here. And I have nothing against the whites of the eggs that they sold in these don't know how they're called, but anyway, there. And the only reason why I do not do pancakes that way, well, firstly, I would do them with the whole egg, to be honest, but just because I'm not particularly fond on these whites sold apart, separately. I prefer to have them made by me. I have nothing against the fats that come with the eggs. But anyway, I do this recipe for a mere reason. I make my own yeast. My own yeast needs to be, we call, refreshed. Every once in a while. I do it every week, which basically means that I have to take a part of it and throw it away and put some more flour and water and mix it again. This is to feed the bacteria that are usually in the air and they get stuck in there. And this is to make to make an yeast. Basically, you can see the recipe where I use it, which is here, how to make the sour bread with the wholemeal flour. It is something not particularly healthy, I mean, having these white flours yeast. And in fact, this is the reason why I'm sorry to throw it away every time, because I have to refresh it, but I don't use it. Because unlike the wholemeal one, which I refresh and use, so the part that I would not use, I use it to make it rise. With the white one, which is the main one that I made, I mean, it's the original one, because I knew that was going to work, while I didn't know whether the wholemeal was going to work. So that one, I'm just sorry to throw it away, because I may use it sometimes. I do sometimes some bread that require this kind of yeast, but just because I don't want to throw it, I basically found out this way to make my own pancakes. I would say that white flours are not particularly healthy because they increase your production of insulin, and they don't provide as many nutrients as the wholemeal flour does. But still, it's something that if you train and you don't eat every day, you can do. I eat it not more than twice a week. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. Here we are. This is the recipe for the pancakes that I do without eggs, without anything. Basically, with just this natural yeast, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is a bubble because it's raising because of the bacteria inside. In fact, it's an yeast. Okay, so today I have 90 grams of this yeast, which is this one that I'm using is the one that I would have thrown away otherwise. Because I need to refresh the natural yeast, and I don't use it very often. As I said, it's not the healthiest choice, but anyway, 90 grams. These pancakes will be something weird probably for you, but because I'm very picky, I want to go to 90. Look how sticky it is. That's because of the proteins, which I made a video for, which is here, top right corner. Along with these 90 grams of yeast, I'm going to add 90 grams of water. So always as much water as the yeast is, so that we take it to 180-ish, like this. And now what you need to do is just blending this thing. I use the Thermomix, or at least it's called like this in England. I don't know if you have it in the States, if you're listening from the States or wherever else in the world you may be. We call it bimbi in Italy. And I just find it very practical, but because I don't have a mixer, but you can use a mixer as well. So just don't worry about what I'm using now. You just need to blend it. You can also use a fork and just mix it with a fork in a bowl, for instance. And here it is. You see, it's a very, very liquid thing. Well, I would call it dough. It's probably unbelievable that it will turn into a pancake, but thanks to all these proteins, which you can see better now here, you see how sticky they are? It will eventually dry up on a pan, not entirely, but a big deal of water will just dry up, and it will create an effect that is similar to a pancake, but also to some Asian bread, maybe, for those who know that kind of bread. But still, it's something that's good. I didn't add anything. If you want, you can add sugar, but just be aware it's not healthy. And here we are. So this pan is very hot already. So I just pour. In this case, it's 1/3 of it, more or less, on top of it. So you can make with 90 grams. You can make up to 3 pancakes. And now it's just a matter of waiting, and you can start to see the bubbles that are coming out, and those bubbles are the nitrogen produced by the bacteria before they die, because they're dying now under this heat. And then I use this silicone thing here to just separate it from the pan. As you can see, I don't use any oil, I don't use any kind of grease. These little bubbles will turn into bigger bubbles, as you can see, and eventually, if you're lucky, we will see the whole thing inflating, but it takes a while. Okay, so let's just let it cook now. It will take a few minutes. It's processing, as you can see. At a certain point, we should be able to see it detaching from the pan, and there is when we can flip it. And I think it's not missing much. It is now time. You can see also the edges are a little bit detached by themselves. So I passed the silicone thing all around to see if it's detached, and yes, it is. Look, now I will just help the process with a couple of fingers, and there it is. You see, now it looks like a pancake, and it will keep baking underneath, and if we are lucky, it will inflate at this point, but it may inflate if we flip it back again. Let's not forget, it's a very heavy thing, so because there is a lot of water, so it's hard to let it inflate. And plus, you know, there was already a 30–40% of water already in the yeast, so there is more water than everything in this thing here. If you have made a natural yeast recently, the flavor would be more acid, but if you have at least a 2 months old yeast, which I would recommend not to use it for these things before 2 months, it will not be as acid as long as you keep refreshing it at least once a week. Now, there is a poll on the top right corner if you click the info button, but I will let it appear at the end of the video if you want me to tell you how to make this natural yeast. As I said before, you can improve the flavor by just adding some kind of sweetener, sugar, or things like that. I don't use it because I put some honey on top of it or some marmalade, so for me that's already enough. But however, because these are refined carbohydrates, they are already like having sugars without having sugar. So every white flour is not very healthy for your health in any case, due to the peak of insulin that it produces. But you know, I train every day. I eat well every day. This one thing once in a while, along with my pizza, I do, quite frankly, at least once a week. I do it even because otherwise I would throw it away. So yes, it's fine. You know, as long as your habits are not to have this food every day, that's fine. But however, if you try to make the natural yeast with the wholemeal flour, it may work anyway. I've never tried. That's because I don't need to refresh the wholemeal natural yeast for these things because I use it. So instead of throwing it away, I use it to make the bread, and then I just refresh the remaining yeast. This one, it's only I would just throw it away. So let's flip it and see if it inflates. Now you see, yes, once you flip it, it will show its real colors, so it will not look like a pancake anymore, but it's inflating. See, I hope you can see it from the video, but I think you can see it. So yes, it's inflating, which means it's ready. This is also how Mexicans do tacos, when they flip them and they inflate. And here we are back to the kitchen. So I hope you liked this procedure. Please, if you want me to show you the procedure to make the natural yeast, just please leave your vote in the poll here above so that I will know. As I said, this is not a very healthy thing, but it does work and it's not bad. Of course it's different, but it rises and it inflates, as you have seen. If you flip it on the right side, it also looks like a pancake. And if you have one of those containers where you can squeeze the stuffing, you can also draw and do something nice by, you know, there are some videos on YouTube about people doing art with pancakes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, just please leave a thumb up. If you haven't, just leave me a comment and tell me why you haven't. I love feedbacks. Please subscribe to the channel and click the ring bell icon, and we will see you the next time. Bye!